Did you dance to Rock Steady or fall in love to And the Beat Goes On? Then this story is for you. The Whispers weren't just an R&B group, they were soul legends. Formed in the 1960s in Watts, California, their smooth harmonies and timeless hits made them icons. But behind the music lies a story few know. Silent struggles, heartbreaking losses, and 5 beloved members gone, some buried in near secrecy. Now, in 2025, only 2 original voices remain. Where are they today? What happened to the others? Stay tuned as we reveal the Whispers, then and now, the untold truths, the sad goodbyes, and the powerful legacy of one of soul music's greatest unsung heroes. This story begins in 1965 at David Starr Jordan High School in Watts, California. Twin brothers Wallace and Walter Scott were performing together under the name the Scott Twins. At the same time, Gordy Harmon, Marcus Hudson, and Nicholas Caldwell were singing in a separate group called the Echoes and Trio. All 5 young men were set to perform in the school's talent show. But something unexpected happened backstage. They started harmonizing together. The chemistry was undeniable. The blend of their voices was so smooth, so natural, that they made a decision that night to form a new group together. Soon after, Walter Scott was drafted and sent off to serve in the Vietnam War. While he was away, the remaining 4 members caught the attention of L. Dale from Door Records. Dale signed them, gave them the name The Whispers, and helped them release 9 singles between 1964 and 1967. In 1966, legendary musician Sly Stone invited the group to the Bay Area. That move changed everything. With Sly's help, the Whispers started getting airplay, a rare feat in California at the time unless you already had a major hit. Their reputation as a powerhouse live act grew fast, and so did their audience. Walter rejoined the group in 1969 after completing his military service. That same year, they scored their first charted single with The Time Will Come. From that point forward, the Whispers had a signature sound, thanks in large part to Wallace Scotty Scott's smooth, melodic voice. His vocals would define the group's biggest hits for decades, earning him a place alongside the greats like Ronald Isley of the Isley Brothers. After releasing a steady run of singles under Door Records in the late 60s, the Whispers caught the attention of producer Ron Carson, who signed them to his smaller Los Angeles-based label, Soul Clock Records. It was a pivotal move, one that began to shape the group's early identity in the R&B scene. In 1970, their efforts started to pay off. The Whispers released 2 notable singles, Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong, and There's a Love for Everyone, Don't Worry About Who You Turn That On. Both tracks gained modest traction on the charts, showing signs that the group's soulful harmonies and emotional storytelling were resonating with a broader audience. That same year, they dropped their debut album, The Whispers' Planet of Life, which climbed to number 48 on the Billboard 200, an impressive feat for a group still emerging from LA's crowded soul scene. Not long after, the Whispers parted ways with Soul Clock and signed to Janus Records, eager to expand their reach. In 1971, they released their second studio album, Love Story, which included more polished production and continued to build on their signature romantic style. Though it peaked at only number 186 on the Billboard 200, it reached number 34 on the top R&B albums chart, further cementing the group's position as rising stars in the genre. 1972 proved to be a productive year. The group dropped a string of singles that showcased their versatility and vocal depth, including Can't Help But Love You, You Fill My Days and Nights with Love, I Only Meant to Wet My Feet, and Somebody Loves You. They also released their third album, Life and Breath, which fared better on the R&B chart, peaking at number 44, and featured themes of devotion, heartbreak, and resilience, core messages that would come to define much of their career. Then, in 1973, tragedy struck. Original member Gordy Harmon suffered a serious larynx injury in a car accident, one that would ultimately end his time performing with the group. Rather than try to force a comeback, Harmon stepped down. His departure marked a turning point in the group's history, but it wasn't the end. That same year, the Whispers brought in Leah Vale Degree, a seasoned vocalist and former member of Friends of Distinction. Degree's smooth tenor and stage charisma made him a natural fit. His arrival helped reinvigorate the group and allowed them to continue growing, both musically and commercially. By 1974, the Whispers were continuing their steady climb through the soul and R&B world with the release of Bingo, an album that, while not a blockbuster, still made its mark, peaking at number 192 on the Billboard 200 and number 40 on the R&B chart. It represented a moment of transition and growth for the group, both musically and professionally. Throughout the mid-1970s, the Whispers released a stream of singles that resonated with fans, each one showcasing their talent for blending heartfelt storytelling with smooth vocal harmonies. Tracks like Bingo, What More Can a Girl Ask For, and The Things in Love explored themes of romance and longing, while songs like One for the Money, Living Together, In Sin, and You're Only as Good as You Think You Are added a more socially aware, reflective tone. Others, such as We'll Be All Right, Make It With You, I'm Gonna Make You My Wife, and I'm Gonna Buy You a Ring, leaned into the group's signature romantic ballad style, which was fast becoming their calling card. During this period, they were signed to Soul Train Records, a label born out of Don Cornelius's famed television show. It gave the Whispers a larger platform and tied their identity closely to the growing national love for R&B music. In 1978, the label transformed into Solar Records, Sound of Los Angeles Records, a powerhouse in the making, and the Whispers remained one of its most promising acts. It was during their Solar era that the Whispers experienced a true commercial breakthrough. With a sharper sound that fused R&B with funk, disco, and pop elements, they began churning out hits that would define the next decade. Songs like All the Way, A Song for Donnie, Lost and Turned Out, Can't Do Without Love, Homemade Lovin', and The Infectious and The Beat Goes On lit up the R&B and pop charts, bringing the group national acclaim. Their albums from this period tell the story of a group at their creative and commercial peak. The self-titled album The Whispers became a defining release, reaching number 6 on the Billboard 200 and a 1 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums chart, earning platinum certification. The 1981 follow-up Imagination also performed well, peaking at number 23 on the Billboard 200 and number 3 on the R&B Albums chart, going gold. In 1982, Love Is Where You Find It continued the trend, reaching 35 on the Billboard 200 and again hitting 101 on the R&B chart, with another gold certification under their belt. But the momentum didn't stop there. In 1987, Just Gets Better with Time proved to be prophetic in both title and performance, climbing to number 22 on the Billboard 200, number 3 on the R&B chart, and earning platinum status. Finally, More of the Night, released in 1990, may have marked the end of an era, but it still reached number 83 on the Billboard 200 and number 8 on the R&B chart, going gold and proving the group's enduring appeal. By 1987, the Whispers were already legends in the R&B world, but it was that year that they crossed over into mainstream pop in a massive way. Their single Rock Steady, produced by L.A. Reid and Babyface, became their most iconic hit, catapulting the group into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time. With its slick production and irresistible groove, Rock Steady gave the Whispers a new audience and solidified their place in the evolving soundscape of late 80s music. Their visibility only continued to rise. In 1989, the group performed a stirring rendition of the national anthem at Game 2 of the World Series in Oakland, placing them on one of the biggest stages in American sports. It was a proud moment for the group and their fans, showing that decades into their career, the Whispers were still relevant, respected, and beloved. That same year, however, brought a painful shift. Marcus Hudson, one of the group's founding members and a beloved figure in their live performances, was forced to step back due to worsening health. His rich baritone and on-stage presence had helped shape the group's golden era. By 1992, Hudson officially departed from the group after being diagnosed with prostate cancer, a battle that would sadly claim his life a few years later. In the early 1990s, the Whispers signed with Capitol Records and kept the momentum going with a new chapter of music. Though they continued performing as a group, twin lead vocalists Walter and Wallace Scott also began exploring solo ambitions. In 1993, they released a collaborative side project titled My Brother's Keeper, a smooth, well-received duet album that showcased the twins' unmatched vocal chemistry outside the group context. The album peaked at number 132 on the Billboard 200 and numbered 18 on the R&B albums chart, and included a standout cover of the Intruders' classic I Want to Know Your Name, which became a fan favorite. Behind the scenes, more changes were underway. In 1993, the group's longtime keyboardist Barry McNeil, who had been instrumental in shaping the Whispers' polished live sound, stepped away from the band to focus on his family. Despite the transitions, the group pressed on. In 1995, the Whispers released Toast to the Ladies, an album dedicated entirely to women, celebrating love, loyalty, and devotion. It was a heartfelt return to the romantic ballads that had always been their trademark. While it didn't reach the commercial heights of earlier records, Toast to the Ladies was a sincere offering that resonated with longtime fans. By 1997, the Whispers signed with Interscope Records, signaling yet another evolution in their career. Even after decades in the business, the group remained committed to growth, experimentation, and, above all, honoring their audience with consistent quality. Throughout the 1990s, the Whispers showed no signs of slowing down. Even as musical trends shifted dramatically, they stayed true to their smooth, heartfelt style, releasing a steady stream of R&B singles that continued to chart and captivate longtime fans. Songs like Innocent, My Heart Your Heart, You're Needing Me, Is It Good to You, I Want to Be the One for You, and Make Sweet Love to Me showcased the group's signature harmonies and commitment to romantic storytelling, even in a rapidly changing industry. But the Whispers weren't just content to rely on past success. Demonstrating their entrepreneurial spirit, they launched Satin Tie Productions, their own independent production company. Through this label, they released the 2006 album For Your Ears Only, a smooth, sophisticated project that proved the group could still produce quality music on their own terms. It was a love letter to their fans, grown, refined, and classic Whispers. A major turning point came on May 23, 2000, when founding member Marcus Hudson passed away after a long battle with prostate cancer. In his honor, the group made a solemn vow: they would never replace him. From that point on, the Whispers performed as a trio: Walter Scott, Wallace Scott, and Leah Vale Degree, carrying Marcus's memory with them on every stage. Their decades of contribution to soul music did not go unrecognized. In 2003, the group was inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, cementing their place in the pantheon of legendary harmonizers. More honors followed: the Governor's Award from the San Francisco chapter of the Grammy Awards in 2005, induction into the Bay Area Blues Society Hall of Fame in 2006, and the Living Legends Award from the Black Music Academy of America in 2007. The accolades kept coming. In 2008, they received the Rhythm and Blues Foundation's Pioneer Award, honoring their influence on the genre. In 2012, they were inducted into the Soul Music Hall of Fame, and the following year, they were awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award aboard the Soul Train cruise, celebrating 50 years in the business. In 2014, they were officially welcomed into the R&B Music Hall of Fame, a fitting tribute to a group that helped define the genre. Even in the 21st century, the Whispers continue to thrive. As of 2025, they still perform regularly around the world, filling casinos, theaters, and festivals with devoted fans. With their classic style, polished performances, and timeless sound, Walter, Wallace, and Leavale remain dedicated to keeping the music alive. Offstage, they've also embraced philanthropy, supporting causes such as youth education, cancer awareness, domestic violence shelters, and organizations like 100 Black Men. For the Whispers, the legacy isn't just about the music, it's about giving back, staying grounded, and inspiring the next generation. And even now, after more than 6 decades, they're still whispering sweet soul into the hearts of millions. Where are the members of the Whispers today? The joy, the loss, and the legacy they left behind. In 2025, the Whispers stand not only as one of the most enduring soul groups of all time, but also as a symbol of brotherhood, resilience, and musical excellence. But as time marches on, the original 5 members who gave voice to the group's unforgettable harmonies have each followed very different paths. Some are still with us. Others have become memories whose echoes live on through every note they ever sang. Walter Scott, 1943 to 2025. The world of R&B lost a giant on June 26, 2025, when Walter Scott, co-founder and one half of the iconic twin vocalists of the Whispers, passed away at the age of 81 after a quiet but brave 6-month battle with cancer. Walter died peacefully in his Northridge, California home, surrounded by family and the people who mattered most to him. Since the group's earliest days, back when the Scott twins were performing at David Starr Jordan High School talent shows, Walter was a grounding force. His deep, resonant baritone perfectly complemented his twin brother Scotty's soaring falsetto, giving the Whispers a signature vocal blend that set them apart from every other R&B group of the era. After being diagnosed in late 2024, Walter gradually stepped away from touring and public appearances to focus on treatment and time with family. Yet those closest to him said his spirit never faded. And through it all, Scotty remained by his side, just as he had been since birth. Their bond was more than musical. It was spiritual, eternal. Fans worldwide are now in mourning. Tributes have poured in, remembering Walter not only as a voice that defined a generation, but as a man of integrity, grace, and humility. Marcus Hudson, 1943 to 2000. Marcus Hudson was more than just a founding member. He was the soulful glue that held the Whispers together during their formative years. His smooth tenor added richness to the group's harmonies, and he played a quiet yet crucial role in the band's early creative direction. In 1992, Marcus retired from the group due to a long and private battle with prostate cancer. He passed away on May 23, 2000, at the age of 57 in Los Angeles, California, leaving behind a deep void in the hearts of fans and bandmates alike. The Whispers made a solemn promise following his death. They would never replace him. Instead, they would move forward as a quartet, carrying his memory with them on every stage. Marcus is laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, alongside countless other music legends. Nicholas Caldwell, 1944-2016. Nick Caldwell brought more to the Whispers than just a baritone voice. He brought vision, style, and heart. A self-taught musician, choreographer, and songwriter, Nick was the mastermind behind many of the group's lush arrangements and unforgettable dance routines. In January 2016, Nick passed away suddenly at the age of 71 due to congestive heart failure just weeks after a successful tour. His death shocked the music world. He had been performing and creating right up until the end. He died in San Francisco, California, and was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills. The Whispers paid tribute to him not just in words, but in music, dedicating concerts, interviews, and entire performances to his legacy. To them, Nick wasn't just a bandmate. He was a genius, and above all, a loyal brother whose artistry elevated every song and every show. Gordy Harmon, 1943 to 2023. Though his name may not ring as loudly to newer fans, Gordy Harmon was one of the true architects of the Whispers. Born in 1943, Gordy helped form the group in Watts, California in the early 1960s, when the original lineup was still finding its voice. In those early years, it was Gordy's tenor harmonies and stage presence that helped define the group's sound. He sang on their very first singles, helped lock in their signature blend, and was instrumental in building the group's local fan base, well before they became national sensations. Tragically, Gordy's time with the group came to a sudden end in the early 1970s after he suffered a devastating larynx injury in a car accident. Unable to sing, he made the difficult decision to step away from the group, later replaced by Grady. Despite not being part of their commercial peak, those who followed the Whispers from the beginning never forgot Gordy. He remained a respected figure among fans and fellow musicians, someone who laid the groundwork for everything that followed. On January 5, 2023, Gordy Harmon passed away from natural causes at the age of 79 in his Los Angeles home. He was laid to rest in a private family cemetery, the exact location undisclosed to honor his family's wishes. His passing marked the quiet end of an era, but his contribution to soul music is forever etched in the Whispers Foundation. Grady Wilkins, 1946 to 2013. While the frontmen often took the spotlight, Grady Wilkins was the man behind the music. Serving as the Whispers' longtime musical director and keyboardist, Grady was the one responsible for shaping the sound behind the scenes. His command of melody, arrangement, and tone brought life to the group's most iconic tracks, translating their harmonies into lush, emotionally rich soundscapes on stage and in the studio. Whether orchestrating a live performance or fine-tuning a chord progression, Grady had an ear for magic. More than a bandmate, he was often described by the Scott twins as the engine of the machine. His musicianship spanned decades, and fans who attended the Whispers shows in the 70s, 80s, and 90s were witnessing Grady's genius in real time. Grady passed away on December 18, 2013 in Los Angeles, the same city where it all began. He was 67 years old. While his name may not appear in every headline, true Whispers fans know, without Grady, there would be no groove. Wallace Scotty Scott, still standing, as of 2025. Amid so much loss, one voice still remains, a voice that helped define a generation. As of 2025, Wallace Scotty Scott, the surviving twin of the Whispers' legendary vocal duo, is still with us. Scotty continues to represent the group with grace, strength, and purpose. While full-scale touring has slowed down, he remains active in select performances, tributes, interviews, and documentary appearances. For longtime fans, seeing Scotty on stage is more than a show. It's a connection to the soul of the group's golden era. Today, the current trio lineup, including Scotty, Grady, and longtime supporting musicians, performs special tribute sets to honor fallen members. These concerts often feature emotional visuals, archival clips, and moving dedications to Walter, Marcus, Nick, Gordy, and Grady. As Scotty says on stage, "We never sing without them. They're always with us." If you've ever grooved to Rock Steady or slow danced to Lady, show your love by hitting that like button and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Which Whispers song speaks to your soul the most? Have you ever experienced their magic live on stage? We'd love to hear your memories. And if you want more legendary stories, timeless music, and heartfelt tributes, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.